When it comes to pests and diseases, understanding and managing your soil pH is like giving your plants the perfect environment to grow strong, happy, and healthy. Much like raising a puppy. You want your puppy to be healthy, right? But just like with a puppy, you need to pay close attention. Does it need food, water, or a walk? Uh-oh, it just threw up on the floor. In your garden, you need to be proactive. What does that mean? Well, start by checking your soil pH on a regular basis and watch for signs of pests and diseases. Don't just check once. Do it every time you're around your plants. By adjusting pH imbalances, you can reduce the impact of pests and soil-borne pathogens, those troublesome bugs and diseases that lurk in the soil. Let's take a look at some real-life examples. Have you ever harvested scabby potatoes, the ones covered with warts and lesions? It can be kind of disappointing. The good news is that scabby potatoes are still edible, but the bad news is they're not very attractive and they don't store well. Either way, they're trying to tell you something. So make sure to listen to your potatoes. The best pH range for growing potatoes is usually between 5 and 6, which is slightly acidic. However, potato scab thrives in soils with a pH between 5.2 and 5.5, which is still slightly acidic, but on the higher end. To reduce the risk of potato scab, aim to keep the soil closer to 5 or even a little lower than that. Now let's take a look at a potato relative, tomatoes. Fusarium wilt is a common soil-borne disease that affects tomatoes. The fusarium fungus thrives in acidic soil conditions, typically within a range of 5 to 6. Now, maintaining a slightly higher, more neutral pH of around 6 to even 6.8 can help suppress the fungus and reduce the risk of the disease. Then there's the root knot nematode. These are microscopic roundworms that infect tomato roots, causing swelling and galling. Now, galling is an abnormal swelling or growth that form on plant tissues, usually on the roots. These nematodes prefer slightly acidic soils. The solution? Bring the soil pH to more neutral levels. This can help reduce nematode populations and minimize root damage. Here's another example. Citrus root rot is caused by a fungi, a soil-borne disease that affects citrus trees. It thrives in waterlogged and acidic soils. Maintaining proper drainage and a soil pH range of 6 to 7 can help prevent root rot in citrus trees. Citrus trees can also be attacked by citrus root weevils, which prefer acidic soils. Again, adjusting soil pH to more neutral levels is one way to help deter these pests. Bottom rot, caused by a fungus, is a soil-borne disease that affects lettuce plants. It thrives in slightly acidic soils, and your solution, you can guess, raise the soil pH to more alkaline levels. Raising the pH also helps deter wireworms. This is the larva of click beetles. These worms feed on lettuce roots, causing damage and stunted growth. By the way, wireworms also feed on many other plants, including carrots and potatoes. Different plants have specific pH preferences for optimal growth and performance. And this chart shows the pH preferences for a variety of vegetables, flowers, shrubs, and trees. For example, acid-loving plants such as rhododendrons and blueberries prefer acidic soil, a pH between 4 and 6, while other plants like beets and spinach thrive in neutral to slightly alkaline or sweet soil, say from a pH of 7 to 7.5. Most garden variety plants, however, do best in a slightly acid soil with a pH of, say, 6 to 6.5. And what about lawns? Most turfgrass species thrive in soil with a slightly acidic to neutral pH of 6 to 7. Keeping this pH is crucial for grass growth, especially for encouraging strong root development. Now, most people from gardeners to golf course maintenance staff focus mainly on what's above the ground. This is not right because healthy roots are the foundation of a healthy lawn, especially during periods of drought, heavy rain, extreme heat, and freezing temperatures. So if you want a lush green lawn that's the envy of the neighborhood and safe for kids and pets, ditch the chemicals, feed the ground, compost all around. As you can see by the examples we've covered in this section, soil pH is a critical factor that can impact plant health in many ways. In turn, it affects you. When your plants are healthy, you can enjoy abundant harvests, beautiful, long-blooming flowers, and tasty herbs. And you don't have to work as hard or spend money on fertilizers and replacement plants. A healthy garden environment is also good for pollinators. And birds. Well, okay, maybe I didn't mean flamingos. This might be more like it. The bottom line, if something's not quite right in your garden, check your soil pH and make adjustments when needed. And what's the easiest way to make those adjustments? With compost.